Right here. You come, Bruce. Come on, right here. No, just stand right here. Okay. Greetings. It's 5 o'clock Eastern Time, 3 o'clock Mountain Time. We're here in Keystone, Colorado, with Bruce Patterson, Jeff Christensen, and Christopher Mitchell. And I'll say a few words about each of them as we introduce them. But we're going to be talking a little bit about the very impressive applications and network that Ammon, Idaho is building, and how they spoke about it here at the Mountain Connect conference. So without further ado, Bruce Patterson, you're the, Chief Technology Officer? What's your title at Ammon, Idaho?
Technology Director.
Okay, and just describe where Ammon is and how many people live there.
So we're in the southeast corner of Idaho. We're right adjacent to Idaho Falls. We've got a population of just under 15,000 and about 4,000, 5,000 addresses.
And how did it happen that Ammon, Idaho became one of the sexiest names in broadband?
I don't know that it has.
Oh, I don't know about that.
It's on its way. But I guess I was tasked with trying to figure out how we could become economically competitive with the larger metro areas. In other words, how could somebody that had to do a job in Salt Lake City or New York move to Ammon and still do that job? How could we get competitive broadband pricing and services?
Okay, and your network is going to go live?
So we're live today, but we're going to start to introduce a utility model to the home. We are in the process of nailing down the quotes for construction, and we intend to bring on 200 plus homes in the next couple of months and demonstrate a new utility model.
Okay, now you've spoken about a utility model. Let me go ahead and bring Jeff Christensen into the conversation. You're the president of Entry Point Networks, right, Jeff?
That's true.
And could you just describe a little bit of what Entry Points does and what it means for a network like Ammon, Idaho's?
So we create a software layer to enable open access in a new way. So our version of open access is we're trying to bring the interaction closer to cloud and closer to internet, so that the user experience is much like getting on the internet and getting on an app or doing whatever people want to do. So it's bringing new technologies to open access so that the functionality is dynamic like the internet.
Okay, and so Bruce and Jeff, speak just a little bit about open access. What is an open access network, and why will it be more important in the future than it maybe has been in the past?
Well, I think most everybody would agree that meaningful competition doesn't occur on different wires, meaning that if you want more than one choice for your broadband services, it doesn't make sense for you to pay for a second wire or a third wire just to introduce that competition. So once we get to fiber optic, it seems to make a lot more sense that all that competition is possible on that single wire, which would drive the cost for the services down, because you paid for one wire, everything you want happens on that one line, that fiber optic line. So I think that's why it becomes meaningful.
Now, you demonstrated an application in your presentation just now. Could you say a few words about that, Bruce?
So we work with Entry Point. It's really Entry Point developed the software, and we've worked together on that. What it is it's similar to a Play Store experience, where we actually provide you with a portal when you come onto the network, and then you get to pick your services, and those services get dynamically, automatically provisioned to the home, so that you can choose your ISP, you can choose other services. You don't have to wait for somebody to do it, you don't have to wait for an install, it just occurs. And then if you want to change, it's a click of a mouse and you can change.
So it's kind of like the analogy that Jeff used was you can get up at 2 a.m. and you can buy something online, right? You can self-provision book purchasing online. You're actually talking about self-provisioning your own network. Is that right?
That's correct. Public or private, so you can create your own network to your neighbor. You can do it at any hour, any time, for as long as you want it.
Okay, let me go ahead and turn to Chris Mitchell. Chris is one of the most known individuals in the gigabit community fiber optic space, and community broadband really is the buzzword. And Chris, just speak a little bit about your observations of what's gone on in Ammon, and you could also say a few words about what you've just finished there.
Sure. Well, Ammon, I think, is doing a lot of really exciting things in terms of empowering users, which is to say that if I'm at home and I'm excited about some new service that I just found out about, I can go and sign up. I don't have to call Bruce and say, hey, Bruce, can you roll a truck and do something to allow me to sign up for this service? And Bruce would say, yeah, next week sometime, or in 2 months or whatever, we'll get it out there. Instead, the thing that he's doing allows people to develop new services and people to sign up immediately without having to ask permission, basically. I think it's, Jeff, you've described it as bringing the cloud to the home, basically, having all these services available. And I think of it as delivering to the home what the internet has delivered, more broadly to devices. The ability to just try new things. And this is only the beginning, in the sense that when we give people more power to develop software applications like this, I don't think we can predict what those are going to look like in a few years. Because it's not just a matter of creating a new application, it's interesting ways you can combine different applications then after that, and you can come up with unexpected results. I tend to think of it kind of like with Twitter maybe 10 years ago, where people were like, that is a dumb idea, no one will ever use that. And now, all kinds of things have happened, and you can't do that on today's network. I can't do that over Comcast network, they don't let me. But on Bruce's network, on the city of Ammon's network, and on the Albion rural telephone company, maybe, like the others that are thinking along these lines, we'll have the ability to come up with new services.
Great. Well, and I saw a video clip during your presentation about a video about Ammon's network. Chris,
Yeah.
will you spill the beans about that?
Sure, yeah. About 10 months ago, we decided to do a video and have that done by February, and how here we are in the middle of June, and we're releasing that video. It's a video that's about 18 minutes long, and it is really exciting. That details how Ammon's approach is really groundbreaking, and not just leads to more choices in the home and how that works, but how it can really impact public safety, for instance. And just the goal is that people have a better sense that we're not done innovating what the network is, what the internet will be. There's new services that are going to be available, and there's great things you can do to really improve quality of life and public safety. So that's going to be out hopefully on Friday. Definitely by Friday, let's hope. But Wednesday is our target date to release this video online on muninetworks.org.
And we'll put the link to it here on this video when you give it to us.
Great.
Chris. Any final thoughts, Bruce and Jeff, about this network and the technology that it offers?
Well, I think we're excited to be at this point. It's been a long journey for us. I think that we kept our focus on the objectives we had, and so we're excited to get to those first 200 homes, and we hope that it's a model that others can imitate, because that would really benefit all of us. It means that the services can be built on anybody's network, and you'll be able to deliver them to Ammon, and our residents will get the benefit of that as well, or vice versa. So we're excited by the prospect.
Great. Thanks for joining us at Mountain Connect. I'm Drew Clark, and the next install will be in an hour at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. Mountain Time. Thanks for joining us.